I recorded a voiceover for this video once over, and then I realized that I was really wordy about everything. So I'm gonna try it again. But good morning or good night. I am back, and I have the chocolate milk for the kingdom. I am back with the milk. So don't worry, I didn't leave with no impromptu. Here's the milk. I wouldn't leave without saying goodbye, and I'm not saying goodbye yet. So here, everybody gets milk. First off, thank you for 400 subscribers. Welcome to the kingdom. The extra 100 of you that joined the kingdom over the past 3 months. I don't know why you joined, but I hope you enjoy your stay here in the kingdom because we're gonna get hopefully more busy within the next year. 2023 was beating my ass for the past 3 months, but 2024, I feel it. I'm gonna beat 2024 ass. I'm gonna get the first punch in, and I'm gonna see how it goes. So here I am talking about anime plastic instead. We're here for it. We're here for it. Let's start off with the oldest one first, being my wife, Megurine Luka. She came out. This figure came out in 2009, I believe. It's made by Max Factory. It's the Tony version. That is the artist who made this Tony line, and she is a 1/7 scale. I bought her through Suigaya through a proxy service because Suigaya JP doesn't have the same stuff that Suigaya EN does. For 6,900 yen, which is really good. And I'm not sure if she's still going for the same price, but I know that she's going for about 10,000 yen, which is still a steal, by the way. Like, she is absolutely gorgeous. The box was nothing to write home about. It's a very basic box. It's really odd the condition I got her in. She's pre-owned, but she was never opened before. But the box is really beat up and the blister packaging is broken. But that's besides the point. She was still in plastic and the wire had to be cut. So I don't know what happened, but you know what? She's safe and she's gorgeous. She's, oh my god. If there's like one highlight of this figure is Luca's body sculpt that Max Factory like popped off with her body. It's so good. It really feels like she's spinning on this record base. By the way, this base being a record or a vinyl record, really cool. There's so much motion. I really feel this figure. Not necessarily alive because obviously it's PVC, but oh my god, so good. Great, even not even good, great. I guess the only downside is the fact that it's translucent hair at the end. Some people will say, like, you know, translucent ends of the hair reminds them of Pride figures, and I guess that's true in this case, but again, I can bypass it. This is 2009, 2010 we're talking about here, so hair sculpts weren't really the best, but I mean, this is still really good. This is not prize figure level, that's for sure. It's still like really fucking good. Even compared to nowadays figures like Furyu and Freeing couldn't fucking do this, and Max Factory is just doing better. I mean, the second figure I have for y'all today is a Hatsune Miku. Speaking of Hatsune Miku, but it's not the Tony version. This one is also made by Max Factory, but is the Winter Heroine version. It's based off of artwork of a collaboration art of Hatsune Miku times Rage of Balumus, and well, here she is. The biggest highlight for me for this Miku in particular is her hair and her face. This is it's the pinnacle of Hatsune Miku. Not actually, but it's solid. Like, they were absolutely wild and when they made this figure. The hair isn't like a couple of modern Mikus that I've gotten. Like, the most recent ones I've got were the Sowa and the Lamb Rock Miku, and I feel like those aren't as solid as this one. Like, the Rage of Balumus Miku's hair is so solid, and it's like all up in the air too. And compared to, say, like the Solwa one, where yes, I do like the design of the Splatoon kind of hair, but it's just feels rough in some places. Like, it's definitely like, yes, there's some places that was connected, but there's not any hair strands here where it's not like that. It's all kind of one solid piece. It's so so good. Other than the hair and her, and obviously the Hatsune Miku herself, I feel like her design's very. If there was a Symphony Miku line in 2012, this would be a Symphony Miku. But I don't think there was. So this is kind of like a prototype Miku. That's what kind of like the dress and her stockings kind of remind me of. And oh my god, the base being at like a, I think it's 45-degree angle, where it's kind of like this lit up starry sky. It being at an angle really like sells the figure. It really makes it all complete compared to if it was just it was a flat circle, which they could have done. They could have just done a flat circle, but they didn't. The only thing I have against this figure, if you compare the figure photo to my figure, she doesn't have this red wire around her, and that's because it's really hard to put it in her headphones. There's a small hole in her headphones that you're supposed to put it in, and I just couldn't do it. It's too fragile, and the red wire bends too easily. I think this Miku overall, composition wise, is so solid enough that I don't think the headphone wire really makes a difference for me, in my opinion. Last one for today is, at first glance, there's nothing to write home about for these two. This is Yuri and Repede from Tales of Vesperia. These two are made by Alter under their Altair line, which is basically their boy line. They're 1/8 scales, and I paid $200. And it has a story that I'll tell at the end. It's not necessarily, I don't want to say spectacular. The sculpt's solid. It's just that obviously the pose is very basic. It's very Swordman like. If you've played Tales of Vesperia, you would know that this is not what Yuri usually looks like. I believe it's something long, the version that this is technically is, but this is like if he was part of the knights that Flynn, I think that's his name, that blonde guy, I forgot. If he was part of those knights, this is what he would look like. And then Repede is obviously Repede, very dog. What the dog doing? But what this figure like astounds me is its paint. It's so solid. It's the colors and the type of finishes that Alter did for Yuri is so, oh my god. It's the mattes with the finishes, what's shiny and what's not shiny, and what's matte and there's no gloss here. Everything is so well done. And then Repede doesn't really have a lot going for him. I mean, he is very dog. So I mean, and he's also, combat dog. I don't really expect much from. He's very matte and one tone. But that being said, the reason why I wanted this figure is because I wanted a figure with Yuri and Repede. And the other figure that Alter did with Yuri with his long hair doesn't have Repede. And Repede doesn't have like a solid, just like a standalone scale figure. So, which this is the only one with both. And honestly, it's really good. The only thing I can say about it is the fact that the base is just, it's a very basic base. It's a black oval with Vesperia, and there's some stars on it. But oh my god, overall, like a fan of Alter, this is Alter quality. It's really solid. It's so well done. It's definitely one of those figures where it's underrated in a Rutsta / DTOF or wherever how you display things. That's for the story. I bought this one about a year ago now because that's when I was really into Vesperia. I never completed it. I wish I completed it. I was talking with somebody and they said that they found one on Amazon for about how much you could buy one off of Solaris Japan. What the fuck? That's before shipping. You have to pay shipping from Japan to the US or wherever you live. And I'm like, whoa, goddamn. And then the next day, someone on My Figure Collection was saying that they're selling their pre-owned displayed before figure for $200. They'll take care of PayPal fees and they'll take care of shipping. And I was like, that's pretty good. So if I don't pick this up, I don't think I could ever pick it up for a good price. There are a couple on My Figure Collection. There's a couple of people that are still selling him, I believe, last time I checked, to reassure like the dates and stuff like that. So I would pick them up. They're about 200 to 250, I believe. I wouldn't spend anything above 300 bucks, honestly. Like if I found him at an anime convention for 300 bucks, I think I'd bite the bullet. For $200, where $100 for each is worth, I think that's worth it for me. So you take that as you will. Here's the final shot of all three figures. Look at them. Very, very cool, very beautiful, very elegant, very cool, very cool. My favorite today is obviously my wife, because wife bias, but our wife bias aside, I still really think she's the best out of these three. I give Hatsune, Miku, and Yuri / Repede both A's, congrats, and I'd give my wife a wife tier. So if you're here for figures, that's about it. I'm going to be talking about the channel in its very disarray state right now, because there's a lot of content that I had on this channel, and I know that the kingdom here is very divided, so I got to address said divideness. Content in general, I guess. I like to stay with I like to do more figure content, but I don't think I can do bi-weekly. I think at most I can. I'm not gonna promise you. I'm sorry. The king makes a promise, leaves. Try to do monthly, and I'll upload whenever I can, and but I like to focus on the stuff that I like. To TLDR with the channel update. And I still really like anime figures, but when it comes to business, I'll keep that, I'll keep those videos short. And when it comes to gacha games, I'll do the reviews, and if I don't like the gacha game, I'll just be upfront. I have been playing more video games of late, and I think I got one more in me. Now that I'm talking to a mic in the past 3 years, I got one more in me. I have a tradition where I talk about the things that I like in 2023. I got one more. I think I got one more in me for the rest of the year. But this is gonna be my last haul for this month for this year. Going to 2024, I got a couple of figures that I do want to open, and I have a set that I want to compare with another set. And it has to deal with 5 certain girls that happen to all be sisters. Is getting a season 3, so stay tuned. I have more content coming for you, so just please be patient. Thank you for waiting so much, and again, thank you for 400 subscribers. Thank you to the 100 of you that the Gacha Kingdom. Thank you for joining it, and I hope you enjoy your stay. And have y'all heard that they added Bayonetta to Genjin recently? They added gay Bing to where's the space? Why is her name Sparkler?